Hello, everybody. Welcome to the final week. Let's look at Unit 8, Lesson 2 in your grammar textbook, pages 213 to 219. So, we are going to look at today comparisons with as, and comparisons with less and not as, and as. Let's begin with making comparisons using as and as. So use as plus adjective or adverb plus as to compare two people, places, or things that are the same or equal in some way. All right, so that's important. They're the same or equal. For example, your car is as old as mine. So this means that my car and your car are the same age. I can run a mile as fast as you can. So in this case, you and I, we run at the same speed, okay? We are equal. So there's different ways to complete a comparison with as and as. One way, you can use a noun plus a verb optionally. For example, I dance as well as my brother dances. So me and my brother dance the same. And in the parentheses in yellow, this is optional. So you can say, I dance as well as my brother, period. Or I dance as well as my brother dances, period. She works as hard as her husband. All right, so her husband works this hard, she works this hard. They work the same amount of hard. Another way is you can use a subject pronoun like I, you, he, she, it, we, they, plus the verb or an auxiliary verb, helping verb. For example, I dance as well as he dances. Okay, in this case, we have the subject pronoun he and the verb dance. Or I dance as well as he does. Do is the helper verb, the auxiliary verb, and we can use that instead of repeating dance. So if you don't want to repeat dance twice, you can use does after the comparison. Or you can use a possessive pronoun or you can use a possessive noun or possessive pronoun. So my computer is as old as Rita's. So Rita's is a possessive noun. We have Rita apostrophe S. Her computer, my computer, same age. My computer is as old as hers. Same idea, but now I'm using a possessive pronoun instead of a possessive noun. In informal writing, remember informal is not fancy. So it's familiar, it's with friends. So informal writing, object pronouns are often used to complete the comparison. So object pronouns are me, you, to him, to her, to it, to us. So for example, formally, we can say, he's as tall as I am. Or informally, we say, he's as tall as me. So in the first one, we have the subject and the verb, but the second one, we have the object pronoun me. Okay, now let's look at comparisons with less and not as. So the opposite of more is less. Not as, and less have the same meaning. Okay, so you can use not as and less in the same way. For example, my old car was less efficient than my new car. So we're comparing the cars. New car is not as efficient as the old car. My old car was not as efficient as my new car. Same meaning. Okay, so there's two ways to say the same thing. We usually use not with one-syllable adjectives. Okay, one-syllable adjectives and one-syllable adverbs. For example, my apartment is not as big as yours. Big is one syllable, so we use not as big as yours. Tom doesn't run as fast as Stephen. Fast, one syllable adverb, so doesn't run as fast as Stephen. We use less with adjectives and adverbs that have two or more syllables, and the meaning is the same. So, my son visits less frequently than my daughter. Frequently is multiple syllables, so we use less. But we can also use not. My son doesn't visit as frequently as my daughter. So both options are okay. Both options have the same meaning. And remember, if the comparison is clear, the second part of the comparison is not necessary. It's optional. So the food at Joe's Cafe isn't as good as the food at Chez Claude, but it's less expensive. This is a complete comparison. But we can also say the food at Joe's Cafe is less expensive than the food at Chez Claude, but it isn't as good. Okay, go ahead and do your classwork now, and please turn it in on Canvas. Thank you all.